Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you for coming. Hopefully you can hear okay. So this is a very exciting day for Real America. This has been a labor of love now for several years and a lot of trials and tribulations to get here. But we're very pleased that you could all join us to welcome us to the community as a new provider of a market rate development in a very incredible building and key part of the riverfront and downtown Fort Wayne. So thank you for coming out on such a beautiful day, and luckily we do have some cover, so that's a nice thing. I wanted to tell you, I'm Ronda Weybright. I'm the president and owner of RealAmerica Development. We've been in business now for 22 years next month, and actually got our start here in the Fort Wayne area. We're a big part of the community. I consider this almost home because we have so much here. And so I'm really pleased that a new type of development that we haven't done before, which is really a moderate market rate development, could be our first here in Fort Wayne. We've had a passion and a focus on affordable housing over the years. It's been very good to us. We have an amazing clientele of residents that we're very proud of, providing homes for them. And this is an opportunity in the Fort Wayne market to go to the next level and get a moderate range market-based development here in the city in an amazing structure. So thank you for letting us do this here in Fort Wayne. We've developed over 2,400 units throughout the state of Indiana, 30 developments. And again, while our passion is affordable housing, we're interested in all facets of real estate and especially housing. So this is very exciting. We've had a lot of success down the street with Ronda Lofts, and really got the bug for rehabilitating buildings with character. So if you are by Ronda Lofts and visit our commercial tenants over there, that's really what got us the drive to do this over and over again. So we're really excited over the next year to put this together and welcome you all back for a great ribbon cutting in about a year. I want to invite someone up to the podium for Real America that has spent countless hours and just a lot of tenacity to get this thing done. This has had a lot of changing paths, and due to perseverance and just a lot of drive. Jeff Ryan, our Vice President of Development, will tell you a little bit about the history of the building and what we're turning this into.
Good afternoon. So this building has a history of over 110 years as a very productive part of downtown Fort Wayne. The oldest part of the building is over on the side over on Calhoun, dates back to about 1905. And then the part that we're in here was added on in the 20s. And then the building, as you see it today, wasn't completed until the 40s with the back section here. I know it looks like the same, but these were built a couple decades apart for this room. It was a box company for all of those years, from the time it started in the early 1900s up until they pulled out about 7 years ago. And so now, it's been just a hole here, and we're going to make it productive for hopefully another 100 years with doing 72 what are going to be really cool urban apartments here, cutting a light well in the middle of the building to make some really neat space, 21,000 square feet of ground floor commercial space. We're hoping for restaurants, for offices, things that are really going to enhance the new riverfront. And then in the basement, we're going to have climate-controlled self-storage, for our residents, for the people here, for the law offices in downtown that don't want to keep their files in their expensive office space. Bring it over here. And so, we're going to rehab this building very nicely and make it a great asset for this part of downtown once again, like it has been in the past.
Thanks, Jeff. So a project like this is not possible, first with my incredible staff and team. Like I said, Jeff put in countless hours, but so have many people in our office. So Without them, Real America is not possible to have the success that we've enjoyed. So I want to thank my staff first and foremost. And then we have a list of people that have contributed to this project, and a lot of people that I would love to name in person that have just spent the hours helping us get there. But let me just start with my list of HUD. At the beginning, the home funds that they are providing for this project is very important and a key element to an affordability element with this building. The Indiana Economic Development Corporation provided industrial recovery tax credits, again, a key part of the overall structure. The City of Fort Wayne has been supportive throughout the process. And when I say supportive, sometimes it was just listening to our ideas and letting us come in and run another scenario and another scenario. And just the access that we've had to run through our different ideas has been valuable. We have the investors and the lenders. Foss tax credit specialists are here. They purchased the credits that we obtained from the state, and then Star Financial is our lender. So that's the team of people that came together in the end of a lot of different thought processes to make this happen. So I'd like to introduce our first speaker, John Dorgan. I'm sorry, I'm not going to introduce our first speaker, John Dorgan. I want to recognize John Dorgan for HUD's role in the financing and specifically thank him for being here today. I would like to introduce Eric, who's the Vice President of Policy and Strategic Development with the Indiana Economic Development Corporation. And this is the group that provided the industrial tax credits.
Thank you, Rhonda. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here today on behalf of the IEDC and the state of Indiana. Thank you, Mayor. Rhonda alluded to the team that it takes to put a deal like this together, and you deserve a lot of credit for the perseverance in working through that. We all know, I think, how big of an undertaking it is to redevelop a building like this. There are all sorts of challenges that you encounter, and I'm sure you're going to encounter some along the way that maybe you didn't anticipate. But congratulations and thank you for having us here. We're really pleased to be part of this project through our Industrial Recovery Tax Credit Program, which is aimed at redeveloping these kinds of facilities across the state. It's our belief that this redevelopment will be a significant component in the catalyzation of downtown Fort Wayne's redevelopment and revitalization. This hits on a couple themes in the region's Road to 1 Million plan. The riverfront redevelopment, as well as downtown residential units. This kills two birds with one stone, along with revitalizing an old structure like this. So we're really excited to be here today, and wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Now I'd like to invite Mayor Tom Henry to the podium. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon. And it is a good afternoon. Putting the weather aside, it's not that often that we have a developer who's willing to step up and say, I want to redevelop a building this large and take on this kind of venture. But Rhonda, through her patience, her perseverance, as was mentioned, and her passion for this type of development has kept her going. And there were times when it was a struggle, but she never gave up. Her and her team said, we're going to make this happen. We're going to add additional housing to downtown Fort Wayne because they realize that right now there is tremendous momentum in our city, and more people are being attracted in a way that Fort Wayne becomes their home. And what better way than to contribute to the housing element of downtown? Right now, many of you probably don't know that we have over 2,000 people that call downtown their home. And we have a waiting list. And it's because of the type of activity that's taking place and the investment that Ronda and team are making that continues to add to what's going on in the city of Fort Wayne, Indiana. So I want to thank you again personally, Ronda, for your help, for your assistance in making something like this happen, in making Fort Wayne a city that's really going to be on the map of not only the state of Indiana, but throughout this country. And that's something that many of us And I do want to recognize a couple city council members, John Crawford and Jeff Paddock, sitting in the front row here. They were certainly a strong element in making this happen. And Lana Kiesling, our city clerk, I know Lana's here as well. But it takes a team like that to continue to push Fort Wayne forward. I was mentioning earlier to Councilman Crawford, our city right now has momentum like it hasn't seen in decades. But this window of opportunity is only going to be open for so long. And unless we capitalize on that, we're going to be losing instead of winning. So again, I want to thank you so much for what you've done so far with the Randall Lofts particularly. And if you haven't been in the Randall Lofts, you've got to go in there. You've got to see these apartments. It's unbelievable. And I'm guessing that these are going to be very similar in that style, but they are magnificent. So please hang in there with us. Again, the momentum of Fort Wayne is continuing. There's an energy and an excitement that's taking place in our city. Please keep it going because Fort Wayne is worth the investment. Thank you.
So again, I want to thank the various elements of the city of Fort Wayne for their help. And as Mayor Henry mentioned, there's a lot of different people involved in that. So it's not possible to turn a building like this into housing that people can afford at any level without the assistance of the city and partners such as the state. So thank you so much for coming. We're going to knock down the proverbial brick wall because we're not going to hurt this building at all. And then we'd like for you to join us for some refreshments and wander around a little bit. Thank you. All right.